The beginning of transformation. Every transformation begins long before anyone can see it. It doesn't start when your life changes on the outside. It doesn't start when you reach your goals, achieve success, or finally overcome the obstacles in your way. Transformation begins quietly, gently, and internally. It begins in your mind. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you experience in life. It influences how you interpret the world, how you react to challenges, how you see yourself, and what you believe is possible. Your mindset determines whether you turn away from difficulties or grow through them, whether you see opportunity or only see obstacles, whether you survive or rise. Many people underestimate this truth. They believe that growth comes from external changes, a new job, a new environment, a new relationship, or a new opportunity. They hope something outside of themselves will rescue them or motivate them. But true growth is not something you find, it's something you create, and it starts with the way you think. The moment you decide to transform your mindset, you take back your power. You stop living on autopilot. You stop reacting to life and start creating life. You begin to understand that your thoughts are not random, they are shaping your future. Your beliefs are not harmless, they are building your identity. Your inner dialogue is not background noise, it is a blueprint for what you allow yourself to become. Think about it. Every great achievement, every moment of courage, every breakthrough someone has ever experienced started with a thought. A belief that said, I can do this, I deserve better, I will grow, or I refuse to stay the same. Your mind is the engine driving every level of your life. Change the engine, and the direction of your entire journey changes. The beginning of transformation requires honesty. You have to recognize the thoughts holding you back. You have to admit where you have been limiting yourself. You have to observe the moments where doubt, fear, or negativity have controlled your decisions. This awareness is powerful because you cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. But transformation also requires hope. You must believe, even if it's just a small spark, that you can grow, that you can evolve, that you can become more than your past, more than your mistakes, more than your circumstances. Your mindset is not fixed. You are not stuck. You are not defined by who you were, but by who you decide to become next. This is where true change begins, the decision to rise from within. When you shift your mindset, you shift your energy, you shift your beliefs, you shift your habits, and ultimately, you shift your entire life. Personal growth isn't about being perfect, it's about being willing to learn, willing to challenge yourself, willing to let go of who you were so you can step into who you are meant to be. Once you make the decision to transform your mindset, you ignite the most powerful force in your life, the force of inner growth. This is the beginning. And from here, everything starts to change, breaking free from limiting beliefs. Transforming your mindset requires courage, because it forces you to confront the invisible barriers that have silently shaped your life for years. These barriers are your limiting beliefs. They are the thoughts, assumptions, and inner stories that quietly whisper, you can't, you're not enough, or this is just how your life is supposed to be. Most people never question these beliefs, and because of that, they stay trapped inside the boundaries of their own mind. A limiting belief is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it hides behind excuses, fear, hesitation, or procrastination. Sometimes it shows up as a pattern, like giving up too soon, settling for less, or avoiding new opportunities. Sometimes it sounds like a voice from the past, something someone told you, and over time you began to believe it. The real danger of a limiting belief is not that it exists, but that it feels true even when it isn't. To grow, you must first recognize these beliefs. You have to observe the moments when your mind automatically tells you no, don't try, or you're not ready. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where did this thought come from? Is it based on truth or fear? Awareness is the first step, because you cannot change a belief that you refuse to see. Once you identify a limiting belief, the next step is to challenge it. Limiting beliefs are like old walls in your mind, walls built by fear, past failures, or criticism. But walls can be broken. Start by questioning the belief. Is it logical? Is it helpful? Does it support the future you want? Most limiting beliefs collapse under the weight of honest reflection. They were built in moments of weakness, not moments of clarity. After challenging the belief, you must replace it. The mind cannot remain empty, it needs a new narrative. Replace "I'm not capable" with "I am still learning." Replace "I always fail" with "every attempt makes me stronger." Replace "I don't deserve success" with "I am worthy of growth and opportunity." These new statements are not just words, they are seeds. Every time you repeat them, you water a new identity. Remember this truth: your beliefs create your behaviors create your habits create your results, and your results create your reality. Change the belief at the root, and everything above it will change naturally. That is why breaking limiting beliefs is the doorway to personal growth. But there is one more step: consistency. Limiting beliefs don't disappear overnight. They return, not because they are true, but because they are familiar. Every time a limiting belief resurfaces, treat it as an opportunity to strengthen your new mindset. Correct it, replace it, speak truth over it. Little by little, your mind begins to shift. The belief loses power, and one day, it stops controlling you. When you break free from limiting beliefs, you expand your identity. You open space for confidence, courage, and possibility. You begin to trust your potential instead of fearing it. You stop living from your limitations and start living from your strengths. This is the point where transformation becomes real. Because once your beliefs change, your entire life begins to rise with them. Reprogramming your mind for success. Reprogramming your mind for success is not about forcing yourself to think positively every moment. It's about building an inner environment where success becomes your natural state, not a lucky accident. Your mind is like fertile soil, and every thought you plant eventually grows into something. The question is, are you planting seeds of fear or seeds of confidence? Seeds of limitation or seeds of expansion? The truth is, most people allow old habits, old beliefs, and old patterns to decide their future. But if you are watching this, you are not most people. You are someone ready to interrupt the cycle and build a stronger, sharper, more powerful mindset. The first step in reprogramming your mind is awareness. You cannot change what you do not notice. Begin observing the thoughts that show up automatically. Notice how quickly your mind tells you something is too hard, too late, too impossible. These thoughts are not facts. They are echoes from your past experiences or from voices that told you what you couldn't do. When you become aware of them, you take their power away. You become the thinker, not the thought. The second step is replacing those thoughts with intentional beliefs. Your mind cannot operate in a vacuum. You must give it something new to follow. If your mind tells you "I can't," respond with "I am capable." If it says "I've never done this before," reply with "I'm learning." If it says "I always fail," replace it with "every day I get better." These are not just affirmations. They are commands that reshape your mental programming over time. Your brain responds to repetition. What you say to yourself repeatedly becomes your inner truth. The third step is visualization. You must see your success before it happens. Professional athletes, CTOs, and high performers across the world use visualization because the brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize your goals, you build neural pathways that prepare you for success. See yourself winning. See yourself confident. See yourself calm, focused, disciplined, and unstoppable. The more real it feels in your mind, the easier it becomes in your life. The fourth step is action. You cannot think your way into a new life without taking steps. But here's the powerful part. Once you reprogram your mind, action becomes natural. You no longer have to fight with yourself to get started. You don't need motivation, you operate from clarity. Instead of forcing discipline, you become disciplined. Instead of pushing yourself constantly, you act because it feels aligned. Your mind and your actions move together. And finally, you must protect your mental environment. Surround yourself with people, content, and habits that support your growth. WTH. Anything that weakens your mindset must be removed. Your mind becomes what it is fed. Feed it inspiration, not fear. Feed it courage, not excuses. Feed it possibility, not limitation. Because when your mind is programmed for success, success becomes your lifestyle, not just your wish, sustaining a growth mindset for lifelong transformation. Sustaining a growth mindset is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle, a daily practice, a commitment to continually becoming the strongest, clearest, and most evolved version of yourself. Growth does not happen in a straight line. It rises, it dips, it pauses, it accelerates. And the people who transform their lives are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who never stop rising after the fall. A growth mindset makes you unstoppable, not because you avoid challenges, but because you learn how to dance with them. One of the most important parts of sustaining this mindset is learning how to embrace discomfort. Growth rarely feels comfortable. It requires you to step into the unknown, stretch your limits, and walk into spaces that once intimidated you. Most people retreat the moment something feels difficult. They misinterpret discomfort as a sign that they're on the wrong path, when in reality, discomfort is often proof that they're growing. When you begin to see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles, your entire journey changes. You no longer fear the process, you trust it. Another key to sustaining a growth mindset is consistency, not perfection, not intensity, consistency. Small, daily actions compound into extraordinary transformation. Reading 10 minutes a day, working on your goals a little each morning, practicing mindfulness, journaling, exercising, learning something new. These tiny habits shape your identity over time. A growth mindset is built on daily practices that reinforce who you want to become. When your habits align with your vision, success becomes inevitable. Reflection is also essential. You must make time to look back at your progress and recognize how far you've come. Too many people only focus on what's missing, what's next, or what they haven't achieved yet. But growth requires acknowledging your wins, your improvements, and your breakthroughs, no matter how small. When you celebrate your progress, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You remind your mind that you are capable. You reinforce the truth that your efforts matter. Overcoming setbacks is another core part of maintaining a growth mindset. You will face moments of doubt, mistakes, failures, and unexpected challenges. That's normal. What matters is how you interpret those moments. Instead of saying, "I failed," ask, "What did this teach me?" Instead of saying, "I should quit," ask, "How can I adjust?" A growth mindset allows you to stay flexible, curious, and resilient. You no longer see setbacks as the end. They become the beginning of a new strategy, a new lesson, a new path forward. Finally, surround yourself with environments that nourish your growth. Protect your energy. Distance yourself from negativity, fear-based thinking, and people who limit your vision. Seek out books, mentors, content, conversations, and communities that challenge you to rise. The people you allow around you will either expand your mindset or shrink it. Choose carefully. Your environment shapes your evolution. Sustaining a growth mindset means waking up each day committed to learning, improving, and becoming a better version of yourself. When you do this, personal growth stops being something you chase. It becomes your natural way of living.